What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. So, tonight I want to talk about something that's not necessarily new, but I think that there's a lot of people that watch the channel now that aren't necessarily just into bodybuilding, into like getting huge and stuff. There's a lot of fitness stuff going on now. I think it's, kind of diversifying a little bit, because a lot of the subjects that I talk about are getting kind of caught on in other places that are not necessarily competitors. People that are just living the lifestyle, people that actually want to live a healthier lifestyle, not just get huge or shredded or whatever. So, I myself have gone to WholeFoods plenty of times and bought their pre-made meals. They have like a kind of a buffet type thing, and it's supposed to be like this super healthy thing. And I myself was under the guise that, hey, WholeFoods itself is very healthy. Now I would go there and actually buy the grilled chicken breasts. So they actually have them like in a deli. And they were just grilled. They didn't have anything on them. There was no oil on them, nothing like that. And I would buy them. I think they were like $2 or $3.99 per chicken breast. They were expensive as fuck, but I was getting ready for a show. I was extremely low carb. I think I was actually keto at the time. And I didn't have the energy and time to cook. I was like, this is just easier to go there, buy 15 chicken breasts, eat those. When they're gone, go buy 15 more. Like egg whites and chicken breasts is kind of where I lived at that point. And I remember going over there with a couple friends of mine, and they would, while I would eat chicken breasts, sitting there literally, I have like a little, not diner, but an area where you can sit and eat. While I'm eating my chicken breast, they went and actually, I guess hair that grows out of my lip. It drives me nuts and tickles the shit out of my nose. That, like you guys need to know that information. And while I'm eating my chicken breast, they would just go to like the buffet thing, and they'd, get a plate or whatever and bring it over, and we'd sit there and eat. So I remember like walking over the buffet thing, and of course, you're dieting, so you're like, I wonder if I could really sneak in some of this stuff, on my diet. Let me see how high carbs in there, like, because sometimes they add things to those seemingly natural foods that change. So we'll change the macro structure of it. So kind of one of the things that they do, not WholeFoods in general, but in general, when we talked about Subway adding the soy to the chicken breast, when they were testing the chicken breast, they also add certain things that actually increase the carb content. So there are sometimes you get a chicken breast out there, you think it's just chicken. It's got like 12 grams of carbs in it because they've added soy, fillers, maltodextrin, which is a carbohydrate made from rice. They add that shit to make it fluffier, bulkier, plumpier, chew better, go down easier, all this stuff, and you're not even realizing that your chicken breast has 12 grams of carbs in it. So you think you're counting your macros, and you're really fucking off by quite a bit. So I always read like on the ingredients list what's in there, and one thing I noticed in almost all of the stuff that was in the buffet was canola oil. And I thought that was interesting, because I'm like, canola oil, not the healthiest thing in the fucking world, especially if I was WholeFoods. And my whole thing was, we used to have organic sections, and we have fresh this, and we have fucking free range that, and grass fed this, and you're like, oh, this is the place. We have candles that are made out of stuff that are no chemicals and stuff, and like no artificial ingredients over here. I mean, the thing is, when you get in there, some of the stuff in WholeFoods is just as bad as anywhere else. But because you're in this WholeFoods environment that's supposed to be healthier, you don't even question it. You automatically think this is healthier for me because it's in WholeFoods. And that's the image that they've wanted to put out there. They've created that image over time, so you don't even question what you're putting in your body as long as you buy it at WholeFoods, right? Well, the study came out recently, and they talk about canola oil. Now, not that we had to do this, but there's a lot of people eating WholeFoods don't even realize that they're taking this shit in. So if you're not aware of what this is for you. If you know what this shit is, you can click off right now and be like, fuck it, I already understand, Jay. So canola oil, all right? Scientists finally issue a warning against canola oil. It damages your brain, can cause dementia, and weight gain. This is in your WholeFoods shit. Some of you that may be leaving work, going to WholeFoods, buying stuff from that buffet that you think is healthier than going to McDonald's or Wendy's and stuff, you're fucking yourself up. Listen to this. So it says, have you ever heard of canola seed? Probably heard of olive and coconut trees, but canola, right? No, that's because it doesn't exist. Canola oil is not a natural oil, but a commercial name for a genetically modified version of rapeseed, which is toxic. So really curious as to why many natural food stores, even the famous ones such as WholeFoods, consistently use canola oil in their prepared meals and food bars. Food bar, that's what it is, not a buffet, food bar. Such as their baked goods, salads, and dressings. But it's in grilled things too, like grilled chicken. If you get it in that buffet thing that's hot, it's got canola oil in it. Baked potatoes, sweet potatoes and stuff, got canola oil in them. Like, why wouldn't they use olive oil? Like, olive oil to me would seem like a better option, but let's pay attention, right? Canola oil was created by a Canadian University lab by Dr. Baldur Stephenson. Dr. Stephenson agreed that his newly created version of rapeseed to meet FDA guidelines, which is less toxic than uric acid, He went to work with Caligny, which was later acquired by Monsanto. Hang on a second here. Monsanto, the people who make Roundup, the glyphosate, they also own this company that created, ta-da, a toxic oil that causes brain damage. Two things from this company right now. I don't even know what the fuck else they make, but canola oil and Roundup. Now it just keeps getting more interesting the more you read, right? It says, there's no such thing as organic canola oil, as the raw ingredient itself is genetically modified rapeseed. It does not exist. Then it goes on here to say, so what are the biggest health risks of consuming foods that contain canola oil? Let's look at a few. So number one, this is one of the risks. Canola oil depletes vitamin E. Interesting, right? Vitamin E is an antioxidant. It's an essential vitamin. We need to take it in all the time. That's important. Like, we should not be depleting our body of vitamins and minerals. We're trying to keep our body nourished, because when you deplete body of vitamins and minerals, as we know, disease occurs. Excuse me. It's been a long day. Recent studies link canola oil to increased inflammation in the body and oxidative stress. Canola increases the rigidity of membranes, which can trigger degenerative diseases. So again, like depleting your body of vitamins, it can trigger diseases by just having the canola oil. Now, I don't know if the canola oil triggers the diseases by depleting it, right? Or there's other things that it affects and other mechanisms that causes disease. We don't know. Like, they're just saying disease is caused by it. Canola's high sulfur content goes rancid easily, which can exacerbate the allergies and compound problems for people with bronchodial asthmatic issues. So now you have something that kicks up allergies and bronchial issues. What the fuck? So you have something that not only affects depleting your body of vitamins and minerals that's toxic to your body, but it fucks with your lungs as well. Human studies have revealed canola causes increase in lung cancers. What? Okay. Well, we were just talking about allergies and bronchial problems, right? So it's going to cause lung cancers. Canola can shorten lifespan of animals and lower platelet count. Short lifespan of animals. Okay, we can shorten your lifespan. Well, if your lungs are fucked up, that shortens your lifespan. Daily consumption can raise your triglycerides over 40%. Now that's interesting, because you don't even know you're getting it in if you're eating a Whole Foods regularly. And I don't really know many people that cook with this shit anymore, so let's be real. But there's a lot of companies out there still having their food when you eat out. This is why another one of those reasons I don't eat out a lot. It's because I don't know what the fuck is in there. I mean, Whole Foods we know because they put it on the label, but we don't know if fucking TGI Fridays has it. This one, even if you look into it, not all these things are easily found. So most people give up before they even find out whether it's in there or not. It molds quickly and also inhibits enzyme function. Opens the door to free radicals, undermining natural antioxidants, and can be linked to increased incidence of many diseases. They said that before. It's like they're going over some shit. Canola leaves of no foul taste when it's spoiled, so it's hard to tell whether you're eating rancid or clean canola oil. It says the next time you visit Whole Foods for other grocers, food court, whatever it may be careful of being fooled into thinking they are the healthiest option in town. For all natural delis and food providers that use natural oils, you know the type that come from an actual plant. Most importantly, remember, there is no such thing as GMO-free canola oil. So then it goes on to tell you about different things that can help your body detox itself faster, etc., and stuff like that, which they're not selling anything, but they're trying to get people aware of what's going in their body and not putting toxic things in their bodies. Now, my thing is, why the fuck is Whole Foods putting that shit in their food? Right? I mean, let's face facts. We're not fucking stupid, right? Either is Whole Foods. Is it a money thing? Is it just an increase in profit margin? That's why they use that instead of olive oil. Maybe olive oil is obviously more expensive, or, avocado oil or whatever. Is it a taste? They said that you don't taste anything in it. Well, adding olive oil to the food, does that change the taste of the food where it's not as good? I don't think so, because olive oil and just about anything tastes fine to me. But is it a taste thing where they're trying not to interfere with the taste of the food? Not really sure why, and I couldn't find any information on why Whole Foods. Usually I found a lot of no comment. Like, people would contact them and they would fucking never get back to them, or they would actually say, we don't have any comment at this time and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's fucking interesting too. So the bottom line is, guys, this whole video is about, even those things that you think are healthy for you. And this is one of those things like the IFIM crowd wouldn't give a shit. They'd be like, just go to Whole Foods and get the buffet. And it's like, but this is my whole point of why I don't agree with the IFYM stuff, why I don't agree with stuff that people say, this doesn't matter, only go with the calories. Well, these calories are fat calories in the whole foods from the food bar, right? From the fresh food bar, whatever you call it. But they contain chemicals that are toxic. Now, before people get all fucking up in arms because they say shit like, well, Jerry, there's chemicals in our body. Like, listen, this is not a chemical that's supposed to be in our body, okay? This is a chemical that's not, it doesn't even exist in nature. We created it. It's a man-made fucking oil. It's a man-made toxin that they know for a fact ruins your lungs, ruins your fucking brain, can cause other diseases to take over. It basically just fucks you up. Its only job is to give you calories and fuck you up. Why would you want to eat that? Most of the time, if you're eating something, if it has calories in it, you want to make sure that those calories are for a reason. To repair your body, to produce hormones, whatever the case may be. You're not just putting shit in your body just for the fuck of it and saying, hey, here's all these calories that I'm going to have to burn off anyways from the fat. But by the way, I'm going to fry my brain and lungs at the same time. Why the fuck would you do that? So my advice, guys, is try to find out what's in the foods that you're eating. Most of the time nowadays, you can find stuff online. Trust me, some of these companies bury that shit 20 pages back and it's hard to find. But stuff like this, like if you go and really look for it, you'll find stuff like this. I will tell you right now, Whole Foods, that place you trusted, place I trusted, not saying I don't trust it anymore. I'm just saying, now I'm more hip to understand that when I'm looking at these things, I would look and say, the canola oil jumped out on me. Like when I, was looking at it, it really jumped out at me. But now I'm like, what else did I not really pay attention to? Because I was so focused on the canola oil that's also in those foods that may be considered toxic. Or maybe considered stuff that I don't want to put in my body for one reason or another. Now it's like I gotta go revisit the fucking health food bar over at Whole Foods, which I'm not gonna do. But I'm just saying, there are things that we don't really pay attention to that can be a big deal and fuck you up. I mean, those people out there that are like, oh, I've never smoked a day in my life. I got fucking lung cancer. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Now, it could be genetics, but it could be foods and shit too. I know for a fact my mom used to use a lot of the shit when I was a kid. Of course, we know, like trans fats and stuff, margarine, like all that shit. Fucking, I was being fed that shit when I was fucking born till, I decided to be a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that still eat this shit now because they don't believe it. But the bottom line is, guys, there is definitely a problem with our food supply nowadays that cause a lot more disease and illness than we had when I was a kid. Plain and simple. There's more shit being pumped in the food, more problems. And until you wrap your head around that and really understand that this is a real fucking thing, you're going to be consuming things that fuck you up, that you'll be at the doctor getting medicated for, that they think it's part of your genetics or don't know where the fuck it's coming from because they don't understand. You're not telling them, hey, I'm eating these foods, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're not even thinking about the foods. They're thinking about genetics, exposure, environment. They're thinking about anything besides the foods. But if you pay attention to the foods and put the right things in your body, you won't wind up at the doctor having to fucking deal with trying to figure out what the fuck it is. You can just live your life being happy and healthy and spending it with your family and not wasting any fucking time trying to figure out shit that shouldn't be there in the first place. BusterTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BusterTraining.com is the blog. So just take a second to read, and you'll understand Bicep. And we are out.